Hello, everyone. Today's chess puzzle.
All right, let's dive into this one.
Okay, so white's position first. Bishop on h6.
Yeah.
Queen on a4, bishop on c4, knight on e4, knight on c3.
Gotcha.
Pawn on d3, pawn on g3, pawn on b2, pawn on c2, pawn on f2, pawn on g2.
Oh, okay.
Rook on r1, rook on e1, and king on g1.
All right, so white's all set up. What about black?
Black's position.
Yeah.
King on a8, bishop on c8, rook on h8.
Okay.
Pawn on b7, pawn on f7, pawn on g7, pawn on a6, queen on c6, pawn on c5, knight on e5, and I'm finally rook on h5. Let's get this going.
Yeah, so looking at the board, black seems to have a strong attack potentially developed.
Yeah, I see that.
That rook on h5 particularly looks quite menacing, don't you think?
Yeah, especially since, it seems like black could just take white's pawn on g2, putting white's king in check.
Right.
And then what?
Exactly. And that's what I think makes this puzzle so interesting, right? Because if black captures on g2, like you said, it looks like a really powerful move, maybe even forcing a checkmate. Who knows? But, and here's the catch, white has a really, really incredible counter move.
Oh, so there's a trap here. Okay. I don't see it. What should white do?
So this is where things get really, really interesting. The best move for white is actually h5, h1.
Wait, what? h5, h1. You mean promoting the pawn to a rook?
Precisely, yeah. By promoting that pawn to a rook, white immediately creates a direct checkmate threat against black's king.
Wow, I totally missed that. I was so focused on that rook on h5, I didn't even consider that the pawn could be promoted. So how does this force a checkmate?
So imagine the board after white makes that move, right? The new rook on h1, it now controls the entire h-file. And because black's king is stuck all the way back on a8, there's absolutely no way to block that checkmate.
Oh, I see it now. Wow. That is an amazing move. Black is completely caught off guard.
Yeah, this puzzle, I think, is a real classic example of what we call a Zwischenzug in chess.
A Zwischenzug.
Yeah, it's a German word basically meaning like an intermediate move. So it's a move that you wouldn't necessarily see right away, but it forces, like a much stronger outcome than just making the obvious move.
Zwischenzug. I'm going to have to remember that one. So by playing h5, h1, white completely turns the tables and forces a win. Just like that.
Exactly. And it just goes to show how important it is in chess to look beyond just the immediate threats and, consider some of those unexpected responses, because that's often where you find these really brilliant moves.
Great point.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.